Alright guys, welcome back to No Man's Land. Today we're going to take a look at the No Man's Sky Explorer trailer, and I'm going to be breaking it down for everybody. So, this is the first in a four video series, excuse me, that's just going to show the 4 pillars of what No Man's Sky is about, what you'll be doing in the game. Explore, here we're going to go back and check it out there. Explore, fight, trade, and survive. It's called the Guide to the Galaxy, and we're going to be looking at the first part here. So, this first scene here is nothing too new. We do see, actually, as we fly out, we see a little indicator here, and as you fly away, you can see that it looks to be maybe a little person, or it does look to be a little person. So that could be someone on the station that you can trade with. This here seems to be the logo of the station, this little yellow circle here, and then obviously you can see the big freighter in front of you, but we've seen that already. The little red indicator there is definitely on the station though, because it's behind you as you exit the station. So here, nothing too new. Ooh, that's a little bit of a graphical glitch there. See, he almost hit the rock, but then he glitches beside it. I don't know. That's fine though. Let's see. Oh, so this actually had a bunch of people talking in this clip here. You can see the flying, what looked to be flying fish, which would actually be really cool. But some people said it could be underwater planet, but I don't think so because there are trees. And trees don't really grow underwater. Anyways, flying fish, pretty cool. Moving on. Oh, so this looks like probably what would be either a desert or a toxic planet. But what you can see here, we've got these cool plants. But they almost look like Venus flytraps, and then the planet's name is Kaiwaki S84. Actually, no, that's the name of the ship there. I can't see the name of the planet. And then here we've got an ice planet, and nothing too interesting. Oh, these cacti are kind of cool here. We've got the round, and they almost look friendly. Cacti with the flowers on them, right? And the sentinel's just kind of hanging out, scanning the rock. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, here we go. On this planet, this has got kind of a lot going on. So these almost look like what's that thing? A Greek myth. I don't remember which one, but oh, Medusa. That's it. Medusa's hair. There's a snake kind of coming out, and then down here in the left corner, we see this is a biological, that's something like a bioweapon symbol, but this is clearly a toxic planet, and so I'm assuming that as you travel on a toxic planet, if your suit can't handle it, then the green bar slowly depletes, and if it gets to the bottom, you start to lose health. This is the first time we've seen these lit up, but I think this must be your health in the top left below your shield, and then this could be some indicator for a shield upgrade. I'm not sure what the little heartbeat symbol is down here, the little AED monitor symbol. That could also be your health, but I think it's probably up here because on the inverse side you have your wanted level when you're exploring a planet usually, although that's not up here right now. These plants look kind of cool, and it is negative 30 degrees Celsius, so it's a little bit nippy out there. Oh wow! All right, that was a quick thing. So we've got kind of a cool looking. I'm not sure what this is. That looks like a big reptilian lion almost, right? That's about it on that image. Here we've got what looks to be the back of some dinosaur type creature, and then we've got just some more interesting plants. Here we've got a ship. This looks like a fighter almost, but it looks kind of like Korvac's design, like the ship that Sean had on Bellari 5. And So it does look like a Korvax design, so it's interesting to see that there are going to be Korvax ships that look more sleek. They look more like fighter ships other than the one we saw, which was more round and bubbly and looked more like a science vessel. So that's interesting. It does actually look like, that's interesting that the trunk there is open in the back, so I'm not sure, and it closes here, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to access that trunk, or if you walk up and open your ship's inventory, the trunk will open. That would be an interesting touch that they would have there. So, of course, the 18 quintillion planets thing comes up all the time. Cool dark planet. This is actually a pretty cool looking freighter over here. I like how the designs are always varied. You know, you usually have these cargo pods along the side, but the front and the back, that design tends to change, which I find cool. It adds diversity and stuff. Let's see. Oh, interesting here that we missed. Oh, we were gonna look at this booster icon here. So the yellow must be when you are not when you're not boosting. Red is when you can't boost, and white is when you're boosting, something like that. Green might be when you're boosting. We'll have to look for that in the future. Oh, here we've got another. Oh, we've got a heat planet. So you can see just a similar mechanic here, that the heat bar is very similar to the cold bar. So when you're on a planet that's too hot for your suit, that heat protection will slowly diminish, and then when you get to the bottom, you'll start to lose shield and then eventually health. Although we don't see that health up here, so I'm not sure exactly what that was. What we do see here is this little mining beam status. So you get your weapon right up here. You get to see the status of it, and I guess how charged it is. And also, we've got a little lightning symbol down here, similar to that health symbol from before. I'm not sure exactly what this one is, but the time will tell. Also, this little indicator here was confirmed to be the sunrise, so you can see the little sunrise logo down there. So on this planet, the sun rises at 6:11 in the morning, and the current time is 5:40. This here is an interesting little jet-generated structure. It looked like it might be a monolith, or it might tie into that whole monolith system. It looks kind of like the portals from the other videos, so maybe it'll tie into the portal system, or it could be something of its own, maybe a puzzle, something you have to solve, or it might just be there for aesthetics. We're not sure yet. It looks to be smaller than a monolith, but then again, it could be further off in the distance, and perspective is just messing with it. So that we'll have to find out in the future. Also, I love these images with the planet rise. Here we go. We have got kind of an asymmetrical ship here with its lights in the back. That's kind of cool that you can have these asymmetrical ships. Maybe that's a cargo pod for storage, or an extra engine. It looks like it might be an engine because of the little hole back there. Not sure though. And also, this is kind of an interesting touch to the inside of the interiors. Whether that's like a little heater or a speaker or something. That's kind of cool that they added that in. Down here we've got kind of a cool shot, because you can see the different rock formations and structures that snake across the planet's surface. You can see your ship down here, little mountains, and then it gives you not a full sense of scale, but a sense of how this is just a little small part of a planet that you can see, and then how as you zoom in you can see your ship there, and how much smaller that ship is in comparison to what you were just looking at. These guys, the lights are probably from sentinels that are roaming around. This looks like you can see the little wireframe around it, and that means that in a scan it showed that this rock, or whatever that formation is, has mineable resources. And then also you can see the classic little pinkish crystalline structure that you can get resources from at the beginning. I forget exactly what element you get from that one. Here, just some more green rocks. Maybe you might get resources from that. Here, this is interesting. So what we have is another toxic planet with the same. So it seems like, unless this is the same planet we saw before, that toxic planets are paired with the health with the heart rate monitor down here, and that what we saw before, the heat planets, really hot desert planets, might be paired with the lightning symbol that we saw on the other planet. I'm not sure if that is exactly how it's going to work. So also, what we can see up here on the radar screen, you can see your ship is to the, not too sure, to the, almost in front of you, a little bit to the left. And then, or I guess that's the right. Yeah, I thought it was inverted. Never mind. So then you can see these 3 indicators here. One of them, this one looks like a portal or a monument. Actually, this little icon looks similar to that structure we saw earlier in the video. I'll just put a picture right here so you can compare the two. It does look pretty similar, so that's probably what it's pointing to, something like that. The second one looks like, I'm not sure, a structure or a little arc. That could be, that'll be interesting to find out what it is. And then this one here, I can't even tell because it's a little bit grayed out. Maybe that one's a building or a resource crate. Only time will tell. We'll have to see that in the game. They make another claim here, limitless variety, showing kind of a cool space station there in the background. I like looking at all the different types of space stations you can see. I do assume that the architecture of the space station will correspond to what alien race controls the region of space that you're in at that time. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out. We've got kind of in this left part here a ship that I'm not sure if we've seen a ship like that before. It's kind of low to the ground. It's got it did look like there was some cargo space back here. Maybe that's an engine, and then more cargo space down here. I don't see a whole lot of weapons on the ship, so maybe it's a cargo ship or maybe it's a science vessel. It's hard to tell at this stage. A blue rock, generally these colored rocks have resources that you can mine, but only a scan will be able to show for sure. And then obviously I think this was plutonium, maybe? I think this was plutonium you mined from these red spikes, and some interesting creatures there. Also, here you've got this ship. This looks more like it might be a I'm not sure what race this ship corresponds to, but it doesn't look like it's Korvax. Maybe, because that's the only one we've really seen in depth so far. This planet up here looks kind of like Earth. That's interesting to see. And then these might be waypoints. I'm not sure if they're waypoints. Yeah, they look like they're waypoints. This is kind of a weird looking creature here. Ooh. So here we've got Dusty Planet, and it looks like they've got cinematic mode on. I'm not sure if that's going to be limited to the developers to use cinematic mode and get rid of the HUD, or if people who are just playing will be able to use that, because that would be really cool, because this game is just perfect for making little montages, cinematic pieces and stuff. There's just so much you can see. There's some cool things here. It looks like these are some small dinosaurs, alligator looking animals. There's another heat planet, so yeah, unless this is the same planet as before, it seems that the heat shield is paired with whatever this lightning bolt thing is down here. I'm not sure if that's the charge for your shield or what it is, but down here we can see that might be a jetpack. That's probably the jetpack logo to show that you have a jetpack equipped or enabled or whatever it is, but that definitely looks like a jetpack with a little up arrow. Again, you can see the sunrise timer. Here we can just see some kind of crazy what's it called? Animals here and plants also. This one's cool because I think this, oh, it is Bellaria 5. Look, you can see it down here. The cold indicator, status indicator for your shield from the cold so far hasn't been coupled with another little monitor down here, which is interesting because all the rest of them so far have had two, one colored and then one white, but this one is just the blue cold monitor. We'll have to see how that plays out on different planets. This is interesting. I can actually link the gameplay that this came from below. Sean did a piece for IGN first, so I'll link that in the description. This is interesting. This looks, I'm not sure why, but it looks very settled to me. Your ship is up here, your jetpack is, I'm not sure, overheating or charging, whatever that is, because the jetpack is filled with red. You can see the corner of what might be a factory, maybe, or some other type of outpost there. You see the little banner. I think this is a Korvax banner that we saw in Bellaria 5 from that gameplay. I'll have a link below. I'm not sure though. It does look pretty settled here though. It looks like there's more going on because there's another factory here and then this light here. So it looks like there might be kind of a village thing for me, which would be very cool. But I'm not sure how that'll work out. This is an image that's causing a lot of stir in the community because it looks like a pyramid, and hopefully, since it's the Explorer trailer, hopefully you'll be able to explore the inside of the pyramid. Fingers crossed. I don't know. You'll have to wait and see for the game though. Here we've got another generated structure that does have a kind of a similar aesthetic to this. I'll put it on screen here. This I'm not sure what it was, but it looked like it could be linked to the portal system or the monolith system. It's all part of the lore of the game, it looks like. Also, this is kind of a crazy plant, but this might be a resource you can gather because it does look similar to the kind of turquoise and pink ones that you see all over Bellaria 5 and other planets like that. So that probably is a resource that you can gather. Here we're back on Bellaria 5. This is a factory in the background, and then this is the little trading post that you saw him go into in the gameplay. You see some ships up there. Those are a little bit bigger. Oh, this is actually interesting. This reminds me of the Enterprise from Star Trek. I don't know why, but it does remind me of the Enterprise. This does look to be like a simulated gravity ring where you would be able to walk along the inside of the circumference of the ring, and then you would get out there by going through this tube, and because of centrifugal force, as the ring spun, you would get pushed to the outside. That's probably what that is supposed to be. So that actually gives you kind of a crazy sense of scale. If this is at least 1 story tall right here, then this whole part of the ship up here is ginormous. This cannon is huge. And then also this looks like a Star Destroyer from Star Wars, just like from behind. It has that same kind of aesthetic with the engines and the lens flare. This actually might tie the two together. So if this is the front of the ship and this is the view from behind the ship, then this is from the bottom of the ship, kind of. This would be the back that we just saw with the engines, and this would be the front with the cylinder, with the circle, I mean. That could be it. Not sure though. But they all seem to be freighters. Endless Discovery. A deer right here. It's so this kind of gives you a little bit more in depth into how the scanning system works. You have to analyze the different animals when you want to discover them and upload that to the atlas. Or you can kind of see here. There's a logo right in the middle of where your crosshair usually is, and that might be because there's a Discovery or something like that. That could be the Discovery logo, or it could be an animal logo. I'm not sure, but it only appears when he's looking at that animal. Also here, this is the red logo that I thought was an ARC before, but it looks like it could be an elephant actually. So that might be the logo for undiscovered animal or a herd of animals. I'm not sure yet. Here we see another, just how it shows how you can discover plants too, which I'm not sure if that's been shown before, but here we can see that he's, user 1 here is discovering the plant, and using the card is going to go to your discovery journal. The mining beam and the jetpack are charged, and the sun is rising at 6:11. So here's a whale. That's actually pretty cool. Everybody wanted to see space whales, but here's a whale. which is actually pretty cool. It's a huge animal here, and it'll be interesting to see. I wonder if you can kill them, because they're big, and I'm sure you can, because that's, you know, you can do anything you want in this game, but that'll be interesting to see. Journey to the Center of the Universe, spelled with the British spelling, which I don't like a whole lot, but that's okay. Here you can see the closing doors on a different kind of. We already saw this before with the little indicator up with the air conditioner or whatever that is up top, but it's interesting to see, because I think before this trailer we hadn't really seen a ship with this aesthetic, with the square window up front and the square windows on the sides. That's interesting. Here, this is a little beacon down here. Oh, this is an interesting shot. Somebody might be able to take this and estimate the size of the planet using it. But here we have the ship, and this looks like to be a more cargo ship, or I don't know, this might be engines for speed, I'm not sure, but that's definitely a different looking ship than we've seen before. It's really long, cockpit up here, just little, that's the cockpit right there, that's where the player sits, and this is probably a Sentinel. This might be a supply drop of some sort, and the wings are really short on this guy, so then you can see as we zoom out, you can kind of get a sense of scale of this little ship. Is in this whole valley area, which would take a long time to explore, and then that whole valley area is surrounded by multiple of these big locations, and then you can see that that whole region is just so small in comparison to the size of the planet, which we still haven't even seen the full thing yet. You know, this planet is just so huge that you could never even walk around the entire thing. Then, to give us even more sense of scale, they zoom out to the stars, right, to the galactic map, so you can see then that each of them is a solar system, and then each solar system is connected to more solar systems, which is its little own region of the galaxy, and then you can kind of zoom out to see the whole galaxy and how many planets and how many stars and how many solar systems there really are, and how many different possibilities there are. Man cannot discover the oceans unless he has the courage to lose sight of the shore. So that's a great quote, and I'm really excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this trailer breakdown. If you did, let me know below by commenting and liking, and I will do another one for the next video in the series, which should be coming out soon because this was out a couple days ago. That's about it, everybody. Keep exploring.